Welcome to a flashback episode of the Truth Uncompromised show. To listen to this episode in its entirety, click the link in the description below. Thank you. Peace and love. The Hotep hustle promotes fear in the masses and profits for the Hotep pimps posing as leaders. It's time the black community realized that they can only save themselves. Black youth, like all youth, naturally look for guidance from role models, but there hasn't been a real black leader since Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and Booker T. Washington. And no, our black president doesn't count. There is racism and there are socioeconomic disadvantages. However, funding the Hotep pimp hustler will not solve those issues. I'm for real black empowerment, but that can only start when people decide to be their own leader and adopt a mindset of I can transcend all the odds, or at least I can circumvent all barriers. It may not get you fame, fortune, and accolades, but at least it would add to the authentic black leadership at the local level, working to better the lives of black people. So again, this is the name of this blog is Truth, Not Narratives, and the article is Disavowing the Hotep Race Baiting Pimps and Disassociating from the Black Conscious Movement. Okay, I'll pause in case somebody wants to put something on it.
I have something I want to say. I've watched some of those debates, and I find them to be very annoying because they really don't tell you anything. They say they're going to tell you stuff, but they don't tell you anything. They're kind of playing with your mind to get you involved in what they're trying to say. But then it becomes like a male boxing match. They, you know, for this one. Oh, that was good. 1 point for that one. And they leave the people, our people, still where we started. Nowhere.
Absolutely.
They don't tell them anything about themselves, and they always tell lies because what they talk about is not truth anyway. They don't tell them that they're the indigenous people to this land. They don't tell them their forefathers was here before Christopher Columbus came. All that Egyptian stuff, that don't help them. That don't help them understand and have the ability to rise above their backward history they've been taught. You have to expect people to be better, or they won't be better. And those guys get on there and they just want to fight each other. They're not helping. And if they're trying to be conscious, they miss the mark. And I agree with that article. It's just a waste of good time because we need to read the books because it's hidden in the books what the truth is. They need to teach the children to have self-respect. And stop saying, like Seven says, stop telling them that they're slaves that was brought over here in chains. Some of them were, but not all of us, because there was 112 million of us here when they came. So they need to encourage people, the young, but they don't do it because they have such egos. What you call them things? Narcissists. They're narcissists. They're narcissists. They love themselves more than they love their fellow man, and that's going to be their downfall, and that is their downfall. I said, oh, my gosh. When I used to watch those things, I said, are you serious?
Yeah, but it's a bit much.
It is a bit much. But they sell money. They sell tickets. Don't forget the money they make for you to see that mess. You know, you got to buy a ticket to even see it on the YouTube when it comes out. So it's a money-making thing. And as you say, they're squeezing it out of us again. So anyway, that's my rant.
Totally agree with you, sis. Go ahead, Brother Shine.
Whether or not they're being helpful, that's a matter of perspective. I mean, you have to realize what their purpose is to begin with. You have to look at their membership. You have to enter and understand the rituals that they've been through. And what they're doing is actually doing something to our people. It's further dividing and further adding to stagnation. Because people hate each other. They ride with one or the other of those people. You have people actually hating each other because one agrees with Pharaoh, another doesn't.
Yep.
All this stuff over nigga. That's all they are to me. Just because they look like us, they ain't us.
I agree.
I mean,
and I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
It's not about the black and white. Because before they existed, all those wars of antiquity was us fighting each other. It was tribal wars. Exactly. We didn't all come from the same place. We don't all vibrate at the same frequency. We can leave here. They can't. That's not just including the so-called Caucasian. People that look melanated, but they don't vibrate high enough to get up out of here.
Exactly. They
pimping you for your energy.
Yes.
You feeding off into their system. You're trying to find equality and find power in something that's been abandoned. It's been abandoned for a reason. Obviously, whatever it was the ancestors was doing at that time, they still got their ass kicked. It wasn't shit. And you trying to recreate that, what you want the same ass kicking that they took? The one you taking now ain't good enough? You want an ancient ass whooping too? I mean, going off into vampirism, okay, like with the classic vampire, you have to invite them into your house.
That's right.
So being fed upon is voluntary.
That's right.
So we're going to let the show progress.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Brother Wendell, did you have something you want to put in on it?
Look here. I don't give them shit. Period. I'm not even a comment. They ain't deserving of a fucking comment.
Right.
I enter and overstand, brother. And, you know, what I want to say, and I've said it for several times, that where the conscious, the quote conscious community, and why it's not going anywhere and why it will not go anywhere, because the highest they can go is the heart chakra. They haven't balanced it out because it's either based on fear, it's based on anger, or it's based on ego. And sometimes it's based on all three. And if you cannot balance out that heart chakra, which is the gateway to the higher realm, that's all you're going to be able to operate in, is through your lower chakras, the lower realm. And it shows in the behavior. And a lot of our people are still caught in the Messiah concept. And the title of the show tonight, The Gods Must Be Fed, is for that purpose. Because anytime you put someone on a pedestal and you look to them for guidance, and you're looking to them for something outside of yourself, you are in essence setting them up as your God, as your Messiah. That's the same behavior coming out of the religion that the conscious community disowns. But it's the same behavior. Either, you know, like Sis saying, paying to listen to the motherfucking debates, paying for the lectures, same ideology as going to the goddamn church, offering tithes. It's the same exact concept. Looking to these folks for something outside of self. And it will never work. You, each and every one of us, are responsible for our own vessel. Only you can drive your vessel. Now, if you don't want to drive your vessel and you bow down and give your power over to another entity, whether living or dead, you know, folks that want to set themselves up with going into these other systems like Yoruba or whatever the other systems are, giving their energy over, it's the same thing. The gods must be fed. And as Brother Sean said, it's ludicrous because the shit didn't work in ancient Egypt. If it worked then, why the hell the melanated people in the state that they're in? And I will go as far as to say that Egyptian system was still a very watered down system of what true high vibrational operation was really all about. That was the last dynasty of the rapid decline. Okay, because even that system relied on calling on different deities. Okay, so very, very good point, Brother Sean. I do, as we move on, I want to, and I've played this video before, but this sister, she damn laid it down. Her YouTube channel is called Fame versus Sacrifice. And I literally named the title of this show after her video that she put out. May have been even 6 months ago, but I played it on the show before, but I want to play it again because that's how powerful it is. And the name of the video is Their Gods Gotta Be Fed. And it's off of a YouTube channel called Fame versus Sacrifice. So let me get the video. While I was running my mouth, I should have been listening to it. Looking for it. Sometimes I can't do two things at once. Let me see. You know I'm going to be pissed if it's not here. I know it's here. Okay. Yep, it's here. All right, it's about 20 minutes long, but I promise you it's worth every minute. This is from the YouTube channel from a sister, Fame versus Sacrifice. She knocked this out the park. Here we go.
Somebody look at your neighbor and say she finna bring it tonight. I said somebody look at your neighbor and say she finna bring it tonight. And if you ain't got a neighbor, look at yourself and say she finna bring it tonight. Well, we gonna jump right into it because that's how we do it over here. I say this. Honey, you know how I do it. So if you don't want to be here, then why you here? Comment on my page every time. Watch my videos all the time. Get some shit to fuck or say. I'm not begging you to be here. Why are you here? We're going to move on. I want to say Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all my beautiful mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. I hope y'all had a beautiful Mother's Day. Okay? We know that's a man-made holiday. But I had to say that. I have to let it be known. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. And we're going to jump right into it. Because that's how we do it. Look at your neighbor and say, they gods got to be motherfucker fed. I said, look at your neighbor and say, the motherfucker gods. They gods got to be fed. See, I ain't even done with it. People want me to revisit this situation. And plus, I feel like I need to revisit it. When I talk about something, I like to explain it. When I say they gods need to be fed, I want to break that shit down so you can overstand it. Motherfucker won't come talk to me about altars. Oh, you got an altar for your ancestors. Oh, you deal with altars. Motherfucker, Yahweh had altars built to his ass. I said, your God of that Old Testament, motherfucker, he had motherfucking altars built to his ass. I said, I'm going to break it down tonight. The gods got to be fed. By the end of this message, you should overstand some shit. Turn your book to the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 20. And we're going to read to the 21st verse. The book say, then Noah built an altar to the Lord, in choosing from every clean animal and every clean bird, he offered holocausts on the altar. When the Lord smelt that sweet-ass odor, he said to himself, never a fuck again will I doom the earth because of man. Since the desires of the man's heart, he said, are evil from the start. He said, nor will I ever again strike down all living beings. Stop right there. It said Noah built an altar to who? The book say he built an altar to Yahweh. Some might call him God. Okay? He said he chose from every clean animal, every clean motherfucker bird. And then he offered the holocaust on the altar. He said when Yahweh, God, smelt that good smelling shit on that altar and it reached his nose, he said, I ain't gonna, never again. I ain't gonna doom the earth no motherfucker more. I said, I'm gonna break the scripture down tonight. Because, see, I just gave y'all the scripture and let y'all look at it. Oh, I'm going to break it down tonight. Look at your neighbor. Say, oh, so it's a harm with me having an altar. Ha! But it wasn't no harm when motherfuckers was sitting there burning sacrifices unto God. Shoo! You better, check it out. I'm about to just get into it. Listen to this. Check this out. We're talking about this spirit cooking. Motherfuckers, they talk about spirit cooking. They say, well, what's spirit cooking? What's that? I said, I'm going to jump into it real quick. Go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 1, starting at the 11th verse. And we're going to read all the way down to the 13th verse. Coming to break it down. It says this. He shall slaughter before the Lord at the north side of the altar. It says, then Aaron's sons, the priests, shall splash his blood on the sides of the altar. Say, when the offerer has cut it up into pieces, the priest shall lay these together with the head and sweat on top of the wood. It says in a fire on the altar. The inner organs and the shanks, however, the offerer shall wash with water first. It say the priest shall offer them up and then burn the whole offering on the altar as a holocaust, a sweet oblation to the Lord. Stop right there. That sounds like spirit cooking to me. They kill an animal, slash the blood, all on the altar. Ha! Look at how it's done. Guess what? Somebody said, well, why they doing that? Because the motherfucker gods, they gods got to be fed. They gods love the taste of motherfucking blood. Read the scripture for yourself. It said, when you offer up the blood, that's sweet. That's a sweet oblation unto they God, unto they Lord, Yahweh. Some of y'all call him God. Read that scripture too. See, look, check it out. I ain't trying to stir nobody down no wrong direction. I'm trying to teach y'all. Because it's something that y'all don't know and what y'all ain't seen. Huh. Y'all not search the deep parts of my mind. Y'all don't know the shit I know. Y'all ain't seen what I done seen. I'm coming to break it down. Got people arguing with me, but y'all can't even show me no scripture debunking what I'm saying. Yahweh, he wanted sacrifice. He liked the blood. Let me stop right there. See, I'll get into that in a minute. Check it out. Listen to this. Yahweh say, God say, the one you call God, or Yahweh, he say he gonna have people eat each other's motherfucker flesh. He say they sons and they motherfucking daughters. So he gonna have them eat them. Somebody say, I don't think that's true. Okay, turn your motherfucker book, Jeremiah chapter 19 and verse 9. I said I'm gonna show y'all tonight. I said turn your book to Jeremiah chapter 19, starting at the 19th chapter and the 9th verse. The book say, I will have them eat the flesh of their sons and daughters. It say they shall eat the flesh of one another during the strict siege, by which their enemies and those who seek their lives will confine them. Stop right there. They setting us up. Y'all got to understand these scriptures. Some truth in there, and there's some lies. Look at that scripture. Saying folks going to be eating each other. Who doing it? Yahweh. God. It say Yahweh said he going to have people eat each other flesh. He say they sons and they daughters. So they going to eat one another during this strict siege period. Understand this. They gods have to be fed. So some blood got to be spilled. We keep asking ourselves, oh, well, why they having all these blood sacrifices in the entertainment? Well, what you think? Somebody got to, guess what? Somebody blood got to be spilled for these guys to be fed. They running to the industry. They running to Hollywood. Check it out. Thinking they finna have the time of their life. Just for a moment. A very brief moment. Because you never know when your time up, when you playing that game. Because there's a lot of gods. I said they got a lot of gods. And all these motherfuckers, all these gods, they got to be fed. That's why these motherfuckers are in the entertainment business. They got to make these sacrifices so they can feed the gods. Look at your neighbor. Look at yourself and say they desire blood. That's why they call it blood sacrifices. Overstand that. Overstand that. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I want to break it down. Check this out. Check this out. Tell us people sacrifice their kids to these gods. Just like they doing today. Juvenile sacrificed his child. Because that blood, that child who got that blood of a child, that's sweet blood to him. Blood, period, is sweet to him and good to him. Oh, but that innocent blood of a child, honey, is sweet to their taste. You must understand this. Turn your Bible to the book of Lamentations, starting at the 4th chapter. And look at the 10th verse. You have to break it down for overstanding. Okay? Overstanding. If you're going to come at me, at least bring me some scriptures and show me something without telling me, oh, you a witch and you this and that. Because, honey, I always got something to back it up and tell you why I do what I do. Hello, somebody. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 10 say what? It say the hands of compassionate women boiled their own children to serve them as mourners. Food in the downfall of the daughter of my people. The same God Yahweh telling you, oh yeah, I create this evil, I create darkness, I'm creating all this shit. Huh. And then you want to mourn and say, oh my God, the daughters of my people. Huh. That's backwards as fuck. Y'all better understand the mystery of this book right here. I said y'all better understand the shit. Say, we just read the scriptures. Say people boiling their kids. The hands of compassionate woman. What do that mean? The people you can look at and say, oh, I would never think they'll do something like that. I never think they'll kill somebody. Huh. I never think they'll just snap the fuck off. The hands of compassionate woman, the book say, what? Board their own motherfucker children to serve them as mourners. Food in the motherfucker downfall. Food for the gods. So they had to fall down to become food. Because the motherfucker want to come up in the game. Huh? Motherfucker want their car. Motherfucker want their big ass house. Huh? So somebody gotta go. Somebody gotta fall the fuck down to be offered as a sacrifice. Who come on and read this book? Oh, well, read what's before that. Read what's after it. Go ahead. Read the shit. Huh. Keep trying to tell y'all, please don't come for me. Don't do that. I'm talking to them smart fuckers. Y'all know how we do it. Check it out. It say, in order to reach Yahweh, God, the prophet Elijah, he told us, guess what he said? He told them they had to slash themselves with swords and spears until motherfucker blood came. Stop right there. Hold on. I'm going to give y'all that scripture. We finna read it in a minute. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and read it. Then I'm going to explain it. Go to 1 Kings. Go to 1 Kings, chapter 18, starting at the 27th verse. And we're going to read it all the way to the 28th verse. So I'm going to read this book with y'all tonight. It's all right, because before I just gave y'all the scriptures, this time we got to go over it together for overstanding. Check it out. 1 Kings, chapter 18, 27 through the 28th verse. Check it out. It said, when it was noon, Elijah taunted them. Said Elijah taunted them. He said, call louder. He said, for he is God. He said, he may be meditating. He said, shit, our God may be retired. He said, or maybe he on a journey. Perhaps he is asleep and must be awoke. He said they called louder. Then they start slashing themselves with swords and spears. He said this was their custom until blood gushed all over them. That's what the book of Kings say. Kings 18, chapter 27. So in order, stop right there. Check it out. In order to reach Yahweh, our God, the prophet, this the prophet telling them to do this shit right here. He said, shit, God might be up there motherfucker sleeping shit, y'all. Come on, listen to it, y'all. He said, the prophet Elijah said, hey, y'all need to call out a motherfucking louder. He said he might be retired. Shit, he might be on a journey or something, or maybe meditating. Y'all need to call on him louder. Prophet Elijah say, hold the fuck up. I know what might get his attention. He said, shit, y'all take them motherfucking swords and them spears, and I want y'all to cut yourself until blood come. Why? Look at your neighbor, look at yourself, say, why? Why would he tell them to cut themselves till blood come? Because the blood will attract that God, Yahweh, or what you call God, unto them. Because guess what? Blood is what that God desires. Blood is what that motherfucker God like. Whew. So if we appease him, I told you got to appease him. When you appease him, let's shed some blood, because we know that's what he like. He might come if he smell this blood off it. He know about this blood here. Who go ahead and read that book for yourself? Because motherfuckers try to act like I'm in La La Land. I ain't in La La Land. Shit, y'all the one lost. Motherfuckers want to come up against me. Y'all lost. Motherfucker, I'm found. Whew, it's all right. Says you got to cut yourself. This motherfucker prophet. Y'all want to reach God? Shit, y'all better shed some motherfucking blood. Get your neighbor say, because they God got to be fed. Blood, motherfucker, sacrifice. Come on and let's get into it. I got to hurry it on up because I see time is going. Check it out. Look at this. Yahweh and his God, they love to make people eat people. Check it out. I said they just like they God Yahweh. How these motherfucking restaurants cooking people in the food and shit. Oh, that's a rumor. Whew. I ain't gonna lie, sometime I had to slip and I done ate some shit. I said, you know what? I got to do the best I can. Can't fuck with these restaurants. Check it out. Ezekiel, chapter 15, starting at the 10th verse. This means that fathers within, you shall eat sons, and sons shall eat fathers. And say, I will inflict punishment upon you. And fella all the remains of your people in every direction. So he's going to scatter all the remains of your people in every direction. So I'm going to make your people what? Eat each other. Come on now, let's get through this book. Told y'all, the God's got to be fed. Ask yourself, who is this God? Who is this Yahweh that we serving, that folks serving? Who is this Jesus that folks serving? Because if the Old Testament fucked up, then the New Testament is too. Come on, we ain't got to be stupid. We ain't going to be stupid today. I ain't going to allow it. Check it out. I remember I used to go to church, and they used to be having communion. I stopped taking it. They used to get mad at me and stuff. Oh, well, why you ain't taking communion? Is you doing something you ain't supposed to do? Hell yeah, motherfucker. Shit. And I don't want to take the shit. Cannibalism. Look what Jesus say. I say, look what your Jesus say. Look at John chapter 6, 53. We're going to read to the 56th verse. Jesus said to them, I tell you the truth. Unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. He said, whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life. And I will raise him up at the last day, for my flesh is real food, and my blood is real drink. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me, and I in him. Cannibalism. Catch this right here. And I ain't talking fast. You're just listening slow. Cannibalism. Cannibalism. That's what that is. And imagination, is a powerful motherfucker. Taking that cracker. That's the body. Drinking the what? The grapefruit. Oh, that's the blood. Ha! Fairy tale ass shit. Practicing cannibalism. But folks want to come for me. Oh, honey, I overstand what I do. Okay? Because before I am a teacher, bitch, I am a researcher. Come on and look at this. Now I'm going to end it right here. I got to end it right here. Because this right here is the juice. So this the juice. That cherry on that motherfucker cake. Look at this. Look at your neighbor and say, it's a lot of motherfuckers saying they follow Jesus. And they ain't no true disciple. You know why? Because they still love their mama, their daddy, their children, their sister, their brother, and even their own motherfucker self. You can't be his disciple if you ain't hating your mama and your brother, your sister, and them. According to what y'all book say. According to the book what y'all based on your life. Come on, hurry up. Turn to the book of, come on, hurry up, please. Turn to the book of Luke chapter 14. We're going to start at the 25th verse, and we're going to work our way to the 26th verse because we're going to end it right here. The Bible say, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his or her father, mother, wife, and children, brother and sister, yes, and even your own life, you can't be my disciple. So it's a lot of motherfuckers ain't his disciples who claiming to be. Now if that don't sound like no slave shit to me, whew, some slave shit. Yeah, you gotta hate your mama. Go tell master. Make sure you tell us everything your mom and your pa's doing, I better overstand this book. I ain't gonna even get deep because I was about to get deep and explain some other stuff. But I hope y'all can overstand it with that little bit I just gave to you.
Okay, so that was from a sister's channel called Fame, YouTube channel called Fame versus Sacrifice. Their gods got to be fed, and that's my second time playing that. And actually, the title of this particular show was based on the title of that video. And although I think she did an excellent job breaking down with the Bible, showing how sacrifices had to be made in the name of these different deities, the Yahwehs, the Jesus with the communion, etc. That not only applies to that whole Christianity world, but we also see that as well in the so-called self-proclaimed leaders that turn movements into cults. Specifically, I hear a lot of those cults behind closed doors doing what they call blood contracts. So meaning, pricking their finger or thumbprint and literally making up a contract and putting their blood upon that contract. And that within itself is a ritual to cipher energy. So I'll pause in case somebody want to put something on it, and I'll come back in and give my little 2 cents.
I like to say something for most of our people. I'm a Bible scholar type person. I've studied it a lot. Mm-hmm. And you have to realize who translated the Bible for you. Who did that? The people who have the control over the printing press. They printed that Bible. Most of those scriptures she read have revised little R's at the side of it. Well, they didn't take in what they want us to get out of it and put it in there. And the papal bull, I don't know if anybody knows what that is, the papal bull, which the priest, the Pope, signed to come over here and get us into captivity, was written on somebody's skin. The back of somebody, their skin was flayed, and they wrote the papal bull, which gave it spiritual power to come over here and get us. So when you look at who gave us these scriptures, and they were only made for this country, this King James Version that we have, it was made for this country only. So it keeps our people believing a lie. The sacrifice, giving up your children, all that stuff was given over here because it keeps us unpure. It keeps us out of favor with the Most High, the Creator. Why in the world, if people just think about it, why in the world does He give life to somebody for you to turn around and eat it? They eat. That's their culture, and their culture put that crud in that Bible. But unfortunately, our people don't think about what that Bible should have said instead of what it says in there. And our preachers are doing our people a disservice because they know the truth. They know that they're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. You can't eat kosher and dead bodies too. You're supposed to eat only grain stuff in the first place, and they changed that in the 9th chapter of Genesis and put meat in there. But He told us you're supposed to eat the fruit of the land, the grains, the seeds. But, oh, no, now Peter says, okay, you can eat pork just as long as you bless it. So People follow that book just blindly, and that's our downfall. And so I understand what she's saying, and it does say all that stuff. She's right. But we didn't speak Hebrew. The Bible was in Hebrew. Who translated that?
All right, sis. That's a good
I know who
point.
translated. Okay, and they call themselves controlling the world today. All right, I'm done.
All right. Okay, sis. No, you fine. I was just trying to see if somebody else want to put something on it before. Go ahead on, Brother Sean.
First of all, with the whole linguistic thing,
we
have to realize that the Caucasoids are a backwards people. So no matter which language we're talking about, whether we're talking about Hebrew, Latin, German, whatever, all of those indigenous people were melanated. Period.
That is correct. That is correct.
The Caucasians, they created no language. All we've been doing is putting spells on each other.
Yes.
It's tribal warfare.
Warfare, yes.
We were the last empire to fall here. The Papal Bull and all of that was authorized through King James. Period. The Moors colonized us. Period. Considering the population of the Caucasoids and considering they were just coming from up under learning from the Moors over in Spain.
Right.
And that short amount of time, that 300-something years that they were up under the tutelage of the Moors, they didn't gain the population and the capacity to overthrow us here. We've been kicking the Moors' ass for the previous 300-something years in the 300-year war. They had to go get some help. So they brought in them savages. And the savages turned on them. But it's still black nobility behind this.
Right.
The ones that's being turned on, y'all was peons anyway. Y'all pawns anyway. Y'all turned on your own people. We don't care nothing about y'all. And these are melanated people I'm talking about that's saying these things. The Caucasians are irrelevant in all of this. Only gods can kill gods. Period. Who do you think is feeding off of those of us who do reach higher vibrational levels? Who do you think is who's able to turn them? It has to be a melanated being is able to feed off of that much power. Quit thinking it's the white man. It's the white man who wrote this. The white man who wrote that. The white man ain't wrote shit. He ain't created nothing. He's a puppet. We doing this to each other. And until we realize that it's going to be like this, as long as we blame somebody else, the whole distraction thing. Everything happening outside of you is a distraction, period. And it's a way of feeding off of you. You're distracted. You're not guarding yourself. You're giving your energy into whatever they present you. Just like you were saying about the debates. I mean, it's what, a comedic Jerry Springer show?
Pretty much.
Exactly. I mean, you're going to see foolery. They're not going there to tell you the truth. They're not going there to unite. They're going there to attack each other. They're going there to put on the show.
Right.
They chop it up afterwards, just like the politicians do.
Mm-hmm.
We arguing amongst each other, and they back there drinking and partying with their white women. That's what they do. I mean, the white women ain't gonna tell. They got it good. They don't care what they telling other black people. They got the secrets. That white woman that you think that you was just tricking, she's now your handler. She know all your dirt.
Yep, pretty much.
She got access to your accounts, everything. That's the way they roll. You ain't going to get with her without giving her access to the accounts. Come on. She don't get out like that. She may spread them legs, but she want access to them accounts. And more than likely, she the one handling the business. Even to spend it all on Bentleys and Jordans, and you know how they get on. They got to get their gear fresh to death.
Right.
You know, they got to go spend with Louis and they ain't about to spend with no black stores. You know, they got to go spend with the Europeans.
Right. Right. As they talk black empowerment, black success, they manifest it, but don't forget to click that donation button.
Of course.
Don't forget to get package A, B, C, D, or E. It's the same con game. It's the same con game, and the only difference now is because of the fall over in this nation and the captivity, we can't see beyond who's really who from an enemy perspective, because we're thinking that it's, a color thing when the enemy that we're looking at looks just like us. And I 1,000% agree that the words itself, they are spells. That's what that book is full of, is spells. And folks that are enlightened, or you are working from a higher consciousness, anything that you read, you are supposed to be able to use discernment and see the spells that are trying to be cast upon you. Just as the sis Sapphire got in the queue earlier and was saying, to gain access to your system, you go through the crown chakra to get to that mind. It's conditioning. That's used through spells. Wording. That's all language is. It's spells. That's why we've had so many variations of it on this plane. It's just a different variation of spells. So as a higher vibrational being, you are supposed to enter and understand the spell of language. You are supposed to know how to take language and make it benefit for you. But instead, and that's whether it be the Bible, that whether it be the Torah, that's whether it be the Quran, it does not matter. Any time that you look for something outside of self, whether it be in a book, whether it be in a self-appointed leader, whether it be in a movement, whether it be in a spirituality system, you are doomed to fail, because you have set up what you have looked outside of yourself as your God. You have given that life, and it requires your energy. So I agree. I get where sis is going with the Bible, but we need to also, on the other hand, enter and understand the true root of it all. Because language was put in place for the sole purpose of gaining access to that mental, for control. But you, as the higher dimensional being, you see through the matrix. You're able to rise above the matrix and see the chessboard. You're not supposed to be on the chessboard. And that's a huge problem with the conscious community, because they're thinking we're supposed to be on the chessboard battling. If you are a higher dimensional being, goddammit, you're not supposed to be on the chessboard. You're supposed to be above it, looking down at the matrix. And all of these things, the words, the systems, the race, it's all outside of self. These things only have power and energy because folks feed into them. They have made them gods. And if energy was not given to it, it would not exist. So I'll fall back in case somebody want to put something on it. Not, we'll go ahead, Elder.
I mean, and you have all melanated nations have been colonized.
Yes.
But yet and still, they've been able to keep their name, heritage, and culture. Why is it only here that we are constantly being renamed?
Yep.
And all the names that are being offered to us come via the Bible or the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had our own system in place before the dirty Moors got here. Any and everything that we've done has been removed from history.
Right.
Just like they don't talk about the pyramids that are here.
Mm-hmm. Which are older.
Equal and just as big or bigger.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about the Grand Canyon civilizations
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that a lot of the places in that Bible are actually here.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Right.
Everything is in reverse.
Exactly.
Yep.
To me, the Bible could have been a map to let they people know where to come up in here. Because the Caucasians didn't have intimate knowledge of the layout of this place.
Right. They couldn't have.
So it had to have been with our dealings with the Moors as they colonized more and more up in here.
Right.
They were our original colonizers. They are the ones who set up the quote-unquote original 13 colonies.
Yes.
That didn't have anything to do with the original people.
No.
There was thousands of tribes, different tribes here. So, I mean, where is all that information? It wasn't that long ago that our empire fell.
Right.
It's talking 300-400 years, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's fresh in their mind. exactly who and what we are.
Right.
So, I mean...
Well, I heard it was in the Smithsonian. They hiding it.
More than likely, because they ain't shipped all that stuff from here over to the Vatican.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
They got everybody thinking that all this, that, and the other up under the Vatican. And all that shit probably right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Could very well be, brother.
World history is America. It's the only destination on this plane that's pertinent.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep talking this Kemetic and that Africa over there shit, but all them niggas trying to get the fuck over here.
Yeah.
The Arabs,
absolutely.
the Chinese, the Japanese, the Israelis.
Right.
Why the fuck everybody coming here? The Holy Land and all that shit over there.
Right.
I mean,
absolutely.
Why is the whole world focused on here?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that everything that we do is played before the universe on TV?
Yes. Absolutely.
It's like they know who we are. Look at these gods. We have reduced them to the lowest possible existence and vibratory frequency.
Mm-hmm.
While sitting up rubbing their bellies because they eating off that energy.
That's right.
And that's what this all boils down to, energy. It doesn't matter the circumstances. The physical body ain't really what it is. They're feeding off of your soul.
Yes.
That's pure energy.
Yes.
We could kick the knowledge around all day, come up with all these different theories, go down the rabbit hole to all of us transition. But the bottom line gonna be because his body ran out of energy. Your soul ain't dead.
Right. Right.
But I yield.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great point, brother. Great point. And just to, go a little bit deeper into, that was a great segue, Brother Sean, about energy. There is an article I ran across, and I'll have to kind of pick some of the parts out of here that's pertinent, so I may jump around a little bit, but the name of the article is Energy Vampires by Dr. Bruce Goldberg. And it says, some people by their very presence seem to drain the energy of those unprotected people around them. They will often associate with a victim who exhibits the classic signs of this drain. General debility, lack of motivation and energy, and emaciated physique, a pallid complexion, and an overall sense of weakness are typically noted. These victims also tend to be highly suggestible people. The dominant partner / energy vampire always resists a successful treatment or protection applied to their victims. And so that's exactly what Sis was talking about earlier, that when she was talking about the poverty pimps who are really energy vampires. So bottom line, if you start protecting yourself by not feeding them, they go on their damn way. So anyway, now I don't agree with this next statement. I think he's generalizing it. Most of these energy vampires are well-meaning, normal people. It may appear that on the surface, but when you find folks that are energy vampires, and that's also in the category of needy people, there is a spiritual component that's really going on with them, where they're vibrating at a low level. And in order for them to continue to function, they have to feed off of others' energy. Okay? So they are an unhappy lot and do their damage by a telepathic draining of their victims' energy resources. Mere separation of two people results in immediate positive changes in any of the victims. In my Los Angeles office, I train all such victims in the art of spiritual protection techniques to eliminate any reoccurrence of this syndrome. Try the psychic protection negativity experience on the hypnotic exercise link for your own protection. So you don't have to do any of that bullshit. All of the solution is within yourself. You just stop feeding people your energy. It's just simple as that. Cut motherfuckers off. When you see the fuckery, and if you make a conscious decision to keep on that path, then you are giving your consent to be fed on. Okay, it's just that simple. So I prefer to use the term psychic parasite for cases where this energy drain is involuntary and subconscious. If this effect is the result of a premeditated psychic attack, I refer to the perpetrator as a perpetrator as an energy vampire. You will observe this process at work in public gatherings. The more people present, the easier it will be to observe. This could be a family gathering, a lecture, or an encounter at your local movie theater. When I conduct seminars and workshops, it is more than obvious. I discuss this concept and immediately see certain heads bobbing up and down. Even more interesting is the response of their partner. These individuals give me some of the more nastiest looks I have ever seen. Fear not, I am fully protected and I am not susceptible to their parasitic vampirism. Psychic defense strategy against energy vampires. The psychological dynamics represented by people who inherently portray a psychic attack energy vampire fall into 5 categories. This personality type is an accumulation of that individual's experience in their current life as well as in prior lifetimes. Because again, as Brother Sean said, at the end of the day, this is all about energy. It's deeper, much, much, much deeper than this physical vessel. Okay, that's only the surface. You have to go deeper, go within, and see that at the end of the day, it's spiritual warfare. It's to lesser beings or people that are vibrating lower or that are trapped in a lower realm, feeding off of others for their survival. Okay, and many of those beings have been trapped in a lower vibrational realm for a long time, several lifetimes. Okay, so fear is the common denominator in these individuals, and you must learn to protect yourself from their negative influences. The 5 personality types are called ethereal, insecure, paranoid, passive-aggressive, and robotic. The paranoid type. Betrayal is the main issue with a paranoid type. Their karmic theme in past lives has possibly been that of a warrior-like behavior, self-sacrifice, and victory in their battles. As a result of their experiences, they learned that there were enemies in the world who betrayed and possibly killed them in several incarnations. Paranoid types are soldiers still trying to win a war that no longer exists against an enemy that has long since perished. They do not trust anyone. Everyone is their enemy, and life is their battleground. Fear is everywhere and an ingrained part of their personality makeup. Their energy fields tend to be more highly charged on the upper half of their body. They are especially fearful and distrustful of members of the opposite sex. Aggression is the most common response to the world from a paranoid type. This aggression takes the form of physical behavior and energy projections to anyone in their path. Paranoid types constantly pick fights. They are seductive but are incapable of long-term relationships. This person expects all others to betray them and will assist in setting up others for this betrayal. A paranoid may initiate a betrayal as a preemptory strike. To lose for a paranoid is to admit that they are bad. This is intolerable. So these people must win at all costs. They are hard workers, obsessive compulsive, and are usually quite healthy physically. There is never enough time for them to accomplish their various goals. Paranoid types insist you agree with their often distorted view of the world. In reality, they want you to argue with them. This way, they can win the argument and prove to themselves that they are good and you are bad. Never argue with this person. Refrain from making eye contact with them. Well, they're saying, I'm not going to read that part, lower and soften your voice. That's bullshit. But anyhow, okay, the ethereal type. Existential terror is the predominant issue of an ethereal type. Most often, these troubled souls have been tortured to death in previous lives for their metaphysical beliefs or practices. Their only escape was to leave the body, so out-of-body experiences are the norm with them today. These individuals do not want much contact with others. They were afraid to incarnate in their present body and show this fear by being unwilling to commit to their consciousness completely into their physical body. Leaving their physical body often through the day is the most common method that these ethereal types use to deal with problems. They have weak boundaries and spend as much time as possible on the spiritual realm. Since all time is simultaneous on all other planes, these people find it difficult to relate to linear time. The result of these inclinations is both withdrawal and aggression. They become aggressive and angry when forced to function on the earth's plane. Their psychic attack on you is rarely premeditated, but nonetheless, you must protect yourself from these individuals. The insecure type. The main issue with insecure type is nurturance. These souls have been through many incarnations during which there simply was not enough food or love to go around. They usually were abandoned at some time in their present life and fear it will happen again. The insecure type feels that everyone around them is draining their energy. Their response is to suck the energies from others to compensate. They may engage you in long, boring conversations and speak very softly. Their voice is so soft and low that you have to strain to hear them. These are compulsive people who are classically and susceptible to addictions of all kinds. These souls continuously create life experiences proving that they are not worthy of attention and their energy, needs, and nurturing requirements will never be satisfied. To solve this deficiency, they must persist in draining the energy from others, creating a vicious cycle. An insecure type also comes across as helpless. They insist you do things for them and expect you to take care of their every need. Give and take circumstances are unknown to them. All they can do is take. Never stand directly in front of this person. Okay. All right. Do not let your pity for them be a basis for you being their next victim. The passive-aggressive type. Invasion and being controlled is the chief concern of the passive-aggressive type. During several past incarnations, they experience being controlled and trapped in situations and prevented from being able to express themselves in ways they wanted to. They may have been slaves, prisoners, or being victimized by religion or government. These souls absolutely desire freedom, but their fear prevents them from claiming it. They are angry and resentful for not feeling free and lack a solution to this problem. Their response to the world is withdrawal, but with a subconscious wish to obtain permission from others to come back into the world. Passive-aggressive types lack autonomy. They constantly strive to involve other people in their lives. This individual makes demands and resists input at the same time. They live in the now and never plan or think about the future, and that may not be such a bad thing, but anyhow, self-expression is unknown to them. It is common to observe others interfering with their development, completing their sentence, and taking them for granted. This type of individual creates an internal world of unclear, undifferential fantasies and ideas with the fear at the core of this world. They imprison themselves and protect loneliness, desperation, and resentment towards everyone they contact. It is impossible for them to express anger. When you engage in this type of conversation, they will request your advice. Unfortunately, all of your suggestions are wrong, and you are of no help to them. These people ask but reject whatever is offered to them. Their classic response to your advice is yes, but. The robotic type. The main issue of the robotic type is authenticity. They are denying their true self. During previous lifetimes, they had to keep up the appearances of being perfect in order to survive. They were the most likely in charge of running things, as they probably are now. Their outer world is perfect, the inner world is denied, and there is no core essence. They constantly fear that something is missing and life is progressing without them. To deal with this reality, a robotic type try to become even more perfect. They have high-paying jobs, a good reputation, a perfect spouse and family, and look in perfect health. The more inauthentic they act, the more meaningless the world appears. Others envy their lifestyle. People come to them with their problems. The robotic type never attains satisfaction from life and come across as a blank. They function as if on automatic pilot and are often removed from your conversation. Robotic types never complain about the world. They are perfect and everything is beautiful. Appropriateness and being politically correct are more important than real. Okay, so that's just a glimpse. Now, of course, by all means, this is not the end all to be all. This was at a high level a glimpse into energy vampires, some of the types, and just a glimpse into some of the reasons behind that type of behavior. So I'll pause in case somebody wants to put something on it to get me a sip of water.
Well, I was studying about thought.